What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another NFL rundown. Today we will be doing the sides and the totals and some props for Thursday night football. I'm here with the young one, the prodigy who just keeps on winning. Tyler, what'd you think of the game last night?
That was a good game. Green Bay came to play. I think Detroit showed some fight in the first half. We'll be going to that first half 14-7 or 14-17.
It was 17-14. Detroit
Yep,
was ahead.
17-14.
Yeah.
Detroit was ahead, so everyone was given that little hope maybe Detroit would show up and win, and then Rodgers put an end to that. But we picked up the 2 wins on the spreadsheet with both props, so that's good to see.
Yeah, it was a great thing, and you're doing such good work here. I'm so excited about this NFL season continuing and getting the winners from you. So we'll talk, and I'm going to go, of course, give my opinions on these sides and totals. But hey, we ride the hot hand here, right? And just like the smart point guard, I'm gonna feed my big man when he's feasting down low, and that's what you've been doing lately. So let's jump right into it. The Carolina Panthers are traveling to Houston to take on the Texans, who are. Is it official? I pretty much capped the game with Davis Mills as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, he's gonna start.
Yeah, so it's official that Davis Mills is in there. Davis Mills came in on relief and did not look very good last week. The Carolina Panthers, of course, looked very good in defeating the New Orleans Saints, although they did have a slight situational advantage. Don't want to take anything away from them or their victory, though. 7.5 on the road seems about right. But it seems like it's Carolina or no play. I really struggle to see how the Texans score points. Maybe a Texans team total. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we've seen Thursday night these home dogs have covered a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Houston keep this game a little bit closer. But, I mean, this Carolina defense has been looking great these first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at who they matched up with. I mean, the Jets week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure the Saints are actually that good?
I think they're a lot better than the Houston Texans. I really struggle to see how the Texans score. I mean, right now, if I were to play one, I'd probably take the Texans team total under.
Yeah, I honestly either that or I'd take the full game under.
And that number is 43 right now, 43. And the idea is that Carolina would probably have to score 37 for that to go over, the way I'm looking at this game. Unless, of course, we see some Sam Darnold turnovers, which have happened in the past, right? So not necessarily a sure thing, but I like the Panthers and the under here. Did you have any props for this game?
The 2 props I was looking at were McCaffrey's receiving yards again because they didn't really take it up after he went for 89 yards in week 1 and then another 60 in week 2. Right. They still set it in the 40s, so I think that's definitely a good look. And then I think Darnold's passing yards over 257 is a good look because he's throwing 35 passes in week 1 and 38 in week 2, regardless of the game being won handedly in both weeks.
Right.
So he's throwing the ball late. In both games, he covered that number. He went for 280 in week 1 and 300 in week 2.
Yeah, definitely a nice little resurgence there for Sam Darnold with great coaching and Matt Rule. And then, of course, the guy you're always touting, Joe Brady, doing wonders with that young quarterback, huh?
Yep.
All right, so Tyler likes the McCaffrey receiving yards over, and the Sam Darnold over for his total yards. I lean towards taking the Panthers and the under. So that should be a fun game. And, of course, the Sports Keg will be live attacking these in-game and finding all the best sides, totals, and player props for your in-game betting action. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you'll get the alert when he goes live. Let's head to Sunday. The Arizona Cardinals are heading to Jacksonville. Another 7.5 favorite on the road here with a total of 52. Tyler, I actually just finished writing about this game right before we jumped on. And, my takeaways were basically, I kind of had high hopes for the Jaguars, and I've thrown those out the window. I don't like anything that Urban Meyer's doing. I don't like any of these quotes coming out of the team. It doesn't seem like the team's bought in to his rah-rah style. And then one thing that, and I won't act like I saw this, I heard a scout say it, but the Jaguars didn't bring in a lot of the same plays that Lawrence was successful with in college. And this, to the scout that I was listening to, He said that's a big no-no. You should be bringing in some of those same plays that he had success with, just like Cincinnati's done with Joe Burrow, right? Just like the Chargers did last year with Justin Herbert. Let's use some of those same exact plays, the same exact schemes that you used to be successful in college to kind of ease your transition in the NFL. Overall, it just seems like a complete failure from Urban Meyer. And look, the Cardinals, right? They squeaked out one. Last weekend, but this still looks to be a great team. We talked about them yesterday with Title, and we had high hopes for this team. I tried to be real trendy and be real smart and cute and take the underdog Jaguars the first 2 weeks, and they burned me. I'm not doing it again. I shouldn't have got fooled twice, right? Shouldn't fool me twice. Shame on you. I'm not getting fooled 3 times. I'm laying it here with Arizona. What do you think?
I don't mind it. I mean, I think the way you're going to be able to beat this Arizona team is running the ball. I mean, we've seen Dalvin Cook had a day, but issues just him being banged up, I think, what kept him from winning that game. And plus the kicker missing the kick just outright at the end. They should have won the game.
They should have won.
So, I mean, I don't see Jacksonville being able to run the ball against them. And their secondary is just going to get lit up by these weapons by Arizona. So I could definitely see them winning this by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I really had high hopes for Urban Meyer, but number one, he's not he's not making the players better. And then number two, I mean, there's a reason they were 1-15 last year. There's a reason they've lost 17 straight football games. So look for that trend to continue. And I don't mind Arizona as a teaser leg as well.
And it's not like the heat in Jacksonville is going to bother the guys from Arizona.
Not at all. I mean, maybe the humidity a bit. But you know what? I played that card against Denver this week, and it didn't matter at all. Right?
Yeah.
You can be tired, but if you can just beat the guy across from you, it really doesn't matter. So let's start talking about the Baltimore Ravens, who had the most, well, I don't know, I said most exciting. The NFL's just been really exciting this year, but an exciting win on Sunday night with the whole nation watching as they squeaked out 36-35 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Last week, my overreaction was that this Ravens team, the line was done. I wanted Villanueva to be retired, and they bounced back. They gave great blocking for Tyson Williams, who's a guy I know that you're high on, and of course Jackson looked good. Sammy Watkins was able to get free. We saw a Hollywood Brown sighting as he was able to get open as well against that Chiefs. Basically, the Chiefs gamble a lot on defense, and they can look bad when the gambles do not pay off. And so we know about that, right? I mean, I gambled taking the Jaguars, didn't look good when the gamble didn't pay off. So now they head to Detroit to take on the Lions, who played one good half of football so far. So far, the Lions have played 2 games, and they played 2 good halves, right? Because the first half against the 49ers was absolutely terrible, and the second half against the Packers was an abomination as well. So I don't really know what to make of this football team. I don't like laying 7.5 on the road against the Jaguars because I'm so down on them, and I've had money on them. So I've watched most of the first 2 games. The Lions, I'm not necessarily as down on, so I'm much more hesitant to lay the 7.5 here. What do you think of this game, Tyler?
I mean, what did we say about the Ravens in all the preview videos?
They're bullies.
They beat up on these bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coming off a big win, I could see them kind of laying an egg here and just pulling out like a 2-point victory. But if I'm picking a side here, I'm taking the Ravens minus that 7.5.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to too, but I'll tell you what, so far we've had 3 road favorites laying 7.5. I like the Cardinals the best of the 3. If you're forcing me to do something that we do not like to do often here at Run Pair Bets, and that's lay it with a road favorite. Tyler, this total's 50. Did you have a lean over or under?
Probably over. I mean, just like we seen yesterday. I mean, Detroit's going to put up points. They're not going to be one of these offenses that's just stagnant, not able to put up points. So, I mean, even if Baltimore blows them out, you're going to get some garbage time points from them in this one.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So, cool. Now we got a home favorite, right? We're getting back into our wheelhouse here. I'm talking about the Washington football team heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills, who looked absolutely spectacular in Super Bowl contending form, beating the Miami Dolphins 35-0. Now, the football team squeaked out a victory. What was the final score on that one?
I think they won it by 2. Yeah, I was thinking it
It
was
was like
30.
yeah, it was like 32-31 or something. Regardless, they squeaked out the victory. The guy could have been. Was he outside? I don't know. I saw a replay where maybe he wasn't. Regardless, they definitely squeaked out a victory. Taylor Heineke was not bad. The defense really, I thought, was the thing that we got wrong about this team so far. I talked about it before. Yesterday that I really felt like the football team's not conditioned. I really saw their defensive line get a bunch of pressure in the first half and then not get pressure in the second half. And when they don't get pressure, that secondary is not as good as we expect. Still, I think 9 is too much, right? I mean, that was a perfect game there for Buffalo. I should have really looked at that matchup a little more because, I could say, well, I picked it wrong because of Tua. No, I picked it wrong because I thought that Miami defense was going to be able to slow down the Bills' offense. And, obviously Diggs and Beasley are good and they're going to make plays, but the Dolphins could not stop the run at all. I do have a little more faith in the football team to stop the run. And, of course, still think Diggs and Beasley get loose. But I'm going to take the +9 on the road here. What do you think, Tyler?
I mean, I don't hate it. My only worry here is that Washington defense they're really big on stopping the run.
Yeah.
Their secondary has gotten torched this year, and that's what Buffalo does is throw the ball. I mean,
that's true.
Looking at the stats, Herbert, week 1, 31 for 47, 337 against them.
Yeah.
Week 2, Daniel Jones goes 22 for 32 for 250.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now you get this team stepping in here with these weapons back home. If Heineke doesn't throw for 300 against the Giants, they're probably not scoring a lot of points there either. So give me Buffalo here. I think Buffalo routes them.
All right, well, we'll be opposite on that one. And my only comeback is I don't necessarily think that the Buffalo's defense is that good. I mean, just because Jacoby Brissett couldn't take advantage of you doesn't mean that you're necessarily a good defense. And we even saw, Ben Roethlisberger comes straight out of the washing machine, right? You just completely washed, and he still was able to beat the Bills. So we'll be opposite
Jonathan
on that one.
Nelson's in the chat spread. I don't know if you've seen, but this weekend the man put down 40 wings in like 19 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually really impressive to see him do it.
All right, well, let's throw him on the screen then. What's up, Jonathan Nelson? And I know you're excited for when Tyler and I break down the chances of the Los Angeles Lakers, but 13 days till preseason, 29 days till the regular season, and we will talk to you then about that, Jonathan Nelson. But for now, we're going to continue to run down the card of the National Football League. The New Orleans Saints are catching 3 in New England. Wow, what a turn of events for them to be laying 3.5 in Carolina. Now they're catching 3 against the Patriots. Mac Jones looked pretty good, right? And the Patriots beat a Jets team that will probably draft in the top 5, might only win 1 or 2 games, right? I don't know how much I make that victory. This one's so tough to me. I just feel like the line is wrong, though. I don't know if I want to take the Saints, but don't you feel like that's a bit of an overreaction? Or do you think they're just factoring in the travel and stuff?
The travel, and we watch what Belichick does to some of these quarterbacks that are rookies when they play them.
Yeah, but Jameis isn't a rookie.
Jameis isn't a rookie, but Jameis isn't the smartest quarterback either. You throw a couple schemes at him that are different that he hasn't seen before.
Yeah.
And flustered, and all of a sudden he's the guy, just like Zach Wilson last week. 5 pass attempts, 3 picks, and we're looking at New England up like 17 points quick.
Yeah, I have more faith there in Jameis than Zach Wilson, to be fair. But I definitely completely understand your point. I think this is a tough game to call. Originally I thought, I'm going to take New England here. And then I was just looking, I was like, we talked about overreactions in week 2. It almost feels like this is the overreaction here. So I'm off this game right now. You think you're getting involved in it?
I mean, if I was going to play a side, it would probably be the Patriots.
Did you see how low the total is? It's 41.5.
Yeah, there's nothing I could do with that. Maybe if you get an early touchdown, you bet the live under. But at that low, you just can't play it right now.
Yeah, that one's going to be really tough because you can just get screwed with one defensive touchdown, 1 turnover, right, where you get the short field, the easy red zone opportunity. And the game could go over, even if you capped it correctly. So, I'm fine staying away from this. And guess what, guys? We'll be back on Friday. So maybe we read something, maybe we watch something, right? I'll be honest, I didn't pay that much attention to the Jets Patriots. That will be on my list for the week. It's so cool that you can watch these games, just so quickly. And I'll definitely be watching that. I don't, what? Honestly, I'm not going to rewatch that Saints game. I mean, I know what happened there. Let's move on to the next game, and this is a game that I definitely like and I'd circled and want to bet, but I want to talk to you about which way the number's going to move and should I get down now or should I wait? I'm talking about the Los Angeles Chargers heading to Kansas City to play the Chiefs off a loss. Patrick Mahomes' first loss in September. Patrick Mahomes' first interception in September. How do the Chiefs respond, Tyler? Chargers are catching 6.
I mean, it's the Chiefs we're talking about. That offense is so high-powered. They win that game if Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't drop the ball on that last drive. I mean,
his first fumble of his career too, right? For as much flack as the guy's catching, I mean, you think that he's dropping the ball left and right? First fumble in his career, and they're going after him.
I listened to a podcast where they did like a week 2 review, and they said it best about Mahomes. It was almost like he was on the sideline getting like a manicure, and then when they panned the camera to him as Baltimore scored, and he like looked around, he's like, "Oh, I got to go back out there." Grabbed his helmet, went 40 yards right down the field, and they were in field goal range in 20 seconds. So it's like this team still chugs along. Now the defense doesn't look good at all. I mean, the defense is giving up almost 12 yards per play, they said. Yeah. So, I mean, this Chargers team should be able to move the ball on them. I mean, 55 is a high total, but I'd probably lean over there. And just like our guy Twatty's always said, the Chiefs are good. They don't cover. So I'd probably take the 6.5 with the Chargers here.
I'm with the Chargers too, and if you go back, and I don't have them in front of me right now, but the Chargers traditionally play the Chiefs very close, and it was Anthony Lynn, right, linning it up,
late in the game.
Yeah, Lennon is keeping them from winning. So with Brandon Staley here, hey, maybe even a little money line here, but I'm definitely grabbing the points. Now, here's why I need to talk to you though. Do the Chiefs take money during the week? Do I hold off, or do you think the Chargers are going to take money?
I think that number stays right where it's at.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I have no problem waiting. Because I think
it's
the Chiefs are so popular.
If it goes up to 7, it gets bet right back down to 6.5. Yeah. And if it goes down to 6,
but that's fine. I'll be one. I want to be one of those guys that bets them down. I mean, that's the game I want to play, right? I mean, I'm home most of the day. Lately, it's been watch NFL, read NFL, take a quick break and eat some food, and then go right back to it. So if that line just touches 7 anywheres, I'll be happy to get it. And in fact, it's down to 6 at Bookmaker here, which is why I was a little worried that the Chargers are going to take money. But my idea here is the Chargers take the early money, guys. Guys that bet early in the week are more likely to bet dogs, right? Because and then the public comes in that doesn't want their money tied up for 6 days, right? And they'll bet all bunch Saturday night and Sunday morning, and hopefully I get the number then. So we'll see, right? It's the gamble within the gamble there, trying to get the best of these numbers.
You said yours is already down to 6?
On Bookmaker, yeah.
FanDuel shading like it's going to go to 7, so they're going 2 different directions.
I mean, doesn't that make sense, though? Because FanDuel's a much more public book than Bookmaker. Bookmaker's probably the sharpest book offshore because they don't limit and they don't kick you out.
Yeah, that probably is true.
So, Bookmaker, I think even Pinnacle limits. I don't know. I haven't used Pinnacles, but Bookmaker to me, I think, is one of the sharpest books, which is why I like using their lines. I think that they're the most accurate reflection of what the market is telling us here. So that's why I'll continue to give you those. But thank you for throwing in those other numbers because I know that a majority of the people watching this show do bet at the legal American books, which is nice if you like dogs because a lot of those numbers are going to shade towards the favorites here. This is a tough game here, right? Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons +3 at the New York Giants. The total's 48. So the old school better in me, right? The guy that really learned to do this around 2011, 2012. Loves the Falcons here, right? Because he goes, oh, this is a buy low spot. Falcons can't look any worse, right? The Eagles really aren't that bad in my mind. I've upgraded them more than any team in my power rankings through 2 weeks. And Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. They're the Buccaneers. They're defending champions for a reason. So they've gone against 2 really good defensive lines. Now they go against the Giants who, say what you will, I think that definitely the defense needs some work here. Seems like a nice spot for the Falcons, but I'll tell you what, man, after actually just watching how the Falcons looked, I can't do it. I don't see how, even against what I consider to be a weaker defensive line, that the Falcons get the push they need. And Matt Ryan, I don't know. I mean, who's more washed, Matt Ryan or Ben Roethlisberger?
I mean, I think they're in the same boat at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
that defensive line might be weaker, but it's not like a weak unit. Like, they're still one of the better units in the league. So they're going to be all over him.
Yeah. So what do you like then? Are you going to lay the 3 with the Giants?
I'll probably be off of this game, but yeah, if I had to pick a side, give me the Giants.
Like for the pick'em pool, who are you going to pick?
Yeah, give me the Giants here.
All right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun that we have over at Run Pure Bets with a pick'em pool where we pick every game against the spread, which allows us, to get a little juice in the game, a little skin in the game, but not actually bet some of these games that we just have leans on. The total here is 48. I think this really depends on, can the Falcons score, or are they going to look inept again? What do you think of the total?
I'd probably lean under. I could see the Giants' defensive line pushing them around a bit. And the Giants aren't a team that scores a ton of points either, so I could see them keeping this low scoring and winning it like maybe 24-20. Get out of there at 44.
All right. Is there going to be any Daniel Jones props on the sheet this week, you think, Tyler?
Maybe a rushing prop.
Hey, the guy can run.
To run the ball.
You know what I was thinking? We were running them down on week 1, and I was going through our biggest overreactions, right? And I was ready for the Giants to draft a new quarterback after week 1, and I started thinking, if he was in the situation like Mac Jones is in, right, or some of these other guys, would we think differently of him? What do you think?
Still turns the ball over a lot.
Yeah, a lot of fumbles.
The fumbles are like he'll just be running with the ball just falls out. It's like, how'd that happen?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely got Joe. He's got the whole offensive line running laps there with all the fumbles. Okay, so yeah, the old school sharp in me says take the Falcons, but the old school sharp in me also knows that a lot of those trends and a lot of the ways that we were betting died around 2017 with this new influx of sports betting, this new influx of sports gambling information, right? So it's not just everybody plays the favorites except for this small group of sharp bettors, right? It's pretty evenly, and especially in the NFL. I was noticing that a lot, Tyler. It seems like a lot more people play the dogs in the NFL than they do when we're doing the NBA, and I'm seeing some other handicappers picks. So I think the NFL is a sharp betting market here. I'm fine staying away from this one. Let's talk about this game. It's your guy, Baker Mayfield. He's now laying 7 at home, and we are assuming that Justin Fields is going to start. Not confirmed, but I'd say it's pretty likely. And my idea is that you have to handicap this game with Justin Fields being the starter. Fields had a rough week 2, but we talked about it yesterday. I really think a lot of that is on Coach Nagy not getting him the reps that he needs to be able to identify some of those situations. The talent is there, and if you look. So I spent a lot of time this morning just reading articles from the Chicago newspapers and checking out their little local fan sites. Nothing but good quotes from his teammates on Fields. It seems like they want him out there. Seems like it could be a boost there. But he's going against your boy Baker and those guys and the best rushing attack in the league. How do you see this game playing out? And are you laying the 7 with the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, I would lay the 7 here, but it's probably going to be one that I tease down. Just a half a point, because I just don't see how. I mean, just like you just said, everybody wants Fields on the field, except for Matt Nagy, because he said if Dalton's good to go, Dalton's playing.
Well, first of all, the whole thing was weird. So they go, "Is Dalton going to start?" And he goes, "That's scheme. I'm not telling you that." And the reporter's like, "That's not scheme." And he goes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Then 20 minutes later, a PR person comes out and reads a written statement. This is Andy Dalton's our starter. I mean, the whole thing is just, I don't want to say clown show, but it's a comedy act.
Yeah, and I mean, they almost blew that game last week.
Oh, they did. I was so pissed.
After Burrow threw 3 straight interceptions on 3 straight pass attempts.
Yes, unbelievable.
So, I mean, I can't trust that team at all.
Yeah.
There's no chance I'm backing them, so give me Cleveland here. And it's almost their defense, Chicago's defense looks like it's taken a step back from that unit we seen like 3 years ago that was just stomping everyone into the ground. So I can see Nick Chubb and them running right at these guys and having themselves a day.
So you've watched more Cleveland than me so far. I think a key to this game is going to be, can Chicago run the ball and limit the amount of dropbacks that Fields takes? Because in my ideal script, if I'm the Bears, I want Fields under 30 attempts. So I need to be running the ball, and I want him throwing on third and short where he can use his legs if he can't make the read. Do you think the Chicago Bears will be able to run the ball against the Cleveland Browns?
I mean, they could. I mean, the Browns defense hasn't looked like this great unit, but their run defenses looked good against the teams they've played. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, they're not the biggest running teams. I mean, they held the Chiefs to about 50 yards rushing.
Right.
And then in week 2, the Texans went for here. I'm pulling it up right now. The Texans' highest rusher was Mark Ingram with 41 yards. And then you had Johnson coming in with 25. So they're 66 yards rushing from Houston and 50 the week before that. So unless Montgomery comes out and takes a giant step forward and gets you 100 yards, I don't see how they get Fields under 35 at passing attempts.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that the offensive line and the run blocking for the Bears is going to be much superior there. So thank you for helping me answer that question. Bears are tempting there. I think you got the best idea. Just tease the Browns down. The total's 46. How are you looking at the total?
I'd probably it's 46 is right in that weird number where you don't want to lean over or under. So
it's almost like they don't know either, and they want to be able to have that flexibility to go to either 45 or 47, which is a little more key,
yeah,
right?
because I'm looking at the 46. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm I don't even know how you get here without going right over it or staying right under it by 2 or 3 points.
It almost feels to me like when they open at 8, right? And they're like, I don't know if this should be 7.5 at 9, so we'll put it at 8 and we'll let the market
see what
tell
happens.
us.
Yeah,
and we'll just let the bettors tell us where it should be. All right, cool. I have no problem staying away from that. Right now, the Bengals and the Steelers are off the board. When it was on earlier, it was around plus 3.5, plus 4.
That's Tyler, what I see.
Okay, let's cap it like that. I think that the reason Bookmaker pulled it off the board is because of the Roethlisberger news today. Not to mention, who do we talk about? T.J. Watt, Tyson Alalulu. I don't know if I said his name right.
Bush, Joe
but
Hayden.
He's good. Devin Bush, Joe Hayden. I mean,
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, the whole team. Hurt. The whole team is banged up. Tomlin's a great coach, but even his speech can't cure a sprained ankle here. Ben Roethlisberger, what's the issue with him now?
His pectoral muscle.
Oh, a pec. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun to throw with. Is it at least in his left or is it in his throwing side?
I think it's on his throwing side. They said it's affecting how they're practicing this week, and they should be ready to adjust. What I hear in that statement is be ready for Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins.
Who would you rather have as a Steelers fan?
Josh Dobbs.
Okay, between
both of them, I mean, just put Rudolph out there. I can't stand Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, I wonder if they give Dwayne Haskins the opportunity just off the upside. All right, so I don't want to take the Bengals, but doesn't it just seem like they're the right shot here?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals here.
Even if Roethlisberger's plays, I'm getting the better quarterback with points.
Are you, though?
I like Joe Burrow. I just don't like the rest of the team.
Oh, okay. I heard you wrong. I thought you meant Ben was better than Joe Burrow.
No, I'm saying even if Ben plays, Joe Burrow's the best. If I bet the Bengals, I'm betting on the better quarterback.
Yeah.
The problem is maybe 2 to 3 Bengals will start on the Steelers defense. Right? The rest of them will all be backups if they went over there. So, I mean, it's good quarterback versus good defense. 5 years ago, I would have taken
a lot of those
defense.
Defensive guys are out. If Watt, Bush, and Hayden all miss again, I mean,
maybe
for Cincinnati are going to have a day.
Yeah. So I like the Bengals here. Let's wait for the news when this goes back on the board. But hey, if you've got it up right now, I wouldn't mind just putting that Bengals bet in right now because, I mean, do you want to be laying forward with Dwayne Haskins?
No chance.
Not me. Another game that's not on the board for me, Tyler, but I saw 3.5 before it got taken off the board. It's the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're at home against the Miami Dolphins, who are coming off a terrible loss. A reason this is not on the board is we don't know if Tua's playing, and then out of nowhere,
he's not playing. They're going to start Brissett. I have the number on the board still. It's 3.5.
I'm laying it. So the reason I think they pulled this off the board, Carr now Ended
That's
up on
my
the
only
injury
worry
report.
is Carr being on the injury report because he did look banged up at the end of that game.
He's going to play.
Yeah, if he plays, give me the Raiders here.
Yeah,
I think the Raiders are a lot better than people think.
I'm on the Raiders too, man. It's just
Max Crosby looks like one of the best defensive linemen in the league. I mean, that dude's a giant coming off the line and just chasing people around.
You know the Raiders fans call him Khalil Max Crosby, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great nickname. No, and it's fantastic. And then you have Ngakoue on the other side. Even if he only plays third down, he's been such a big addition. Trevor Moehrig, great pick there in the second round. Actually can cover in the secondary, which is great because the cornerbacks still can't cover that well. But then you added KJ Wright and Denzel Perryman. You have some semblance of a rush defense, enough to basically not, constantly be in third and short. You give opportunities to get off the field. They're in 3rd and 7 here. Miami, I'm still really high on this Miami team. I think Tua means a lot to them though, and we saw last week.
The offense was built for him this year, so with him not being there, this could be a rough one.
Yeah, and then one other thing with him being hurt, in the previews and in the Week 1 rundown, right? I blasted the Cincinnati Bengals for not drafting Sewell. Should I have blasted the Dolphins too, Tyler? Because Jalen Waddle's cool and everything, but this is terrible. And one other thing, let me throw that in there, and then I'll let you answer. I was reading the Miami Sentinel Times or whatever. I don't know. I read all these newspapers, right? They're talking about moving all their offensive linemen around again. It's like I don't know what they're doing there. Austin Jackson, they drafted as the left tackle. They might move him to guard. They just moved their right tackle to right guard. They might move him back. They're bringing people in. They don't even know who they're starting.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I think, but how you're saying draft regrets from last year, I think they're looking back a couple years before that when they took Tua over Justin Herbert. So,
for sure.
I think they're still having nightmares about that one.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I'll tell you what, I would have drafted Tua over Herbert, too. We did the draft show together. Yeah, we did the draft show together, and we were all kind of down on Tua. I mean, on Herbert because he looked great his junior year, and he could have potentially been the number 1 pick his junior year. Didn't have a great senior season there in Oregon. So, I can understand the concerns around him. Okay, I don't have a total for this game in front of me. Do you have a total for the game or even a lean or look?
45.5. Probably lean under, maybe a Raiders team total over.
Yeah,
I just don't see Miami putting up points much here with Brissett.
Yeah,
it's not really like they have a run game with Gaskins and Ahmed.
Yeah, he's not that good. I drafted him in fantasy, and so I watched a couple of his games. I mean, he's like, if you're doing wins above replacement, right? He's the replacement. He's like
he'd be a nice second string back that can catch balls out of the backfield.
Yeah,
like you need a starter there, and he's not your starter.
He's the epitome of, to me, just an average NFL running back. Like he's the average there.
He's a James White Miami version.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's jump in to the New York Jets, plus 10.5, heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. Coming off that 10-point win that really wasn't even that close against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a kick return late. Otherwise, they had 23-7 the whole time. And the Jaguars scored in their first drive. So after the first drive, I think the first drive and the rest of the game, they had about the same amount of yards from scrimmage. This Denver defense is legit. Teddy Bridgewater seems to have found a home. Talk about great quotes. The team is rallying around him. They're really excited about what Bridgewater is doing with his offense. Laying 10.5 is a lot on the road. I mean, even at home, however. I like Denver at home, though, in September. I like Denver at home in September. And I like Miami at home in September. Didn't work out for me last week. I'm not going to stay away from it, though. I'll lay it. What do you think, Tyler? Am I getting too crazy here? Am I square?
I mean, if you were going to force me to bet the side in this game, give me Denver.
Yeah.
Because I think this has like a 24-7 score or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about tough defenses to go up against 2 weeks in a row for Zach
Wilson.
Wilson.
Zach Wilson, man.
Patriots last week, he's going to throw all them picks. Now he's going to have Von Miller and them chasing him around this week.
And to be fair, the Panthers aren't bad either. So it's not like this kid's had a nice introduction to the NFL.
Yeah. 3 tough defenses to start. So, if you're pinning me down, give me Denver here.
Yeah. So, some issues with the Jets and injuries as well here. Total 41. Tyler, these totals are low. What do you think?
I'd probably lean over here.
Yeah.
Because I think Denver gets into the high 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you get any garbage time points from the Jets, it's probably going to put you over.
Right. Yeah. All right. I like the overs on these really low totals too. It used to be the old one. Bet the lowest under on the board. I don't know. This is the lowest under on the board though. I like this game a lot. And how am I catching points? I'm going to take the money line. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are now laying 1.5, heading to Los Angeles to the beautiful SoFi Stadium. Great job down there in Los Angeles, getting just a great cathedral football being built. I like the Rams here. We've talked about the Rams so much, you guys already know why. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
I mean, this is going to be the game of the week. Everyone's going to be on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to want to bet the new fun team in the Rams and their high-powered offense, but their running back went down spread. Now you're going to have Sony Michel running the ball. I mean, you need to be able to run the ball. Matthew Stafford was banged up in that game too. I mean, you stop Cooper Kupp on the other side. What's this team got? A good defense, and that's it.
Cooper Kupp's had like 16 receptions for close to 300 yards so far. So, like, just saying, we'll just stop Cooper Kupp.
Now it's week 3, and now you know that's his main guy. So now that's who you game plan to stop. Make him go to Robert Woods. Make him go to Van Jefferson. So
yeah, I think even if they game plan for it, I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
I don't think they'll be able to completely stop it, but they're going to do whatever they can to force the ball other places. But
yeah, we'll see. Even then, if you do that,
I'm not going against Brady. Give me the Bucs.
Murphy Bunting's still out. I don't trust the secondary against a multitude of weapons. This might be one of the few matchups where Bruce Arians at a coaching disadvantage here. And then, I mean, I got Jalen Ramsey, man. I mean, that guy played great. Now, obviously, the same deal with all the multitude of weapons. But
go on Twitter for me and round up all the people that have won money long-term betting against Tom Brady, and I'll talk to them at the end of the day on Sunday. Because you don't make money betting.
Well, they don't exist. Yes, we get it, Tyler. And hey, the old man in me wants to see the old man win. Maybe I just
like talking about weapons. I mean, the other offense has more weapons than the Rams. The Rams got one guy who looks like me playing receiver who's had 2 good games. You got Mike Evans.
If you look like that, you need to come out here.
You got Chris Godwin, who's 6'4". You got AB torching guys. And Gronk, who looks like old Gronk. Give me Tampa Bay here.
Yeah, Gronk. Red zone Robbie, right?
Yep. Says
he doesn't need to practice on Friday, right?
Did you see what he said on the main thing last night?
Yeah. He's red zone Robbie. He doesn't need to practice on Friday. He's had that since his rookie year. That was a lot of fun. And you know it's so much fun. And first of all, everyone was on Twitter just being like, this guy's lying saying he doesn't watch tape. They said the guy watches 3 to 4 hours of tape a day with Brady.
Yeah, he's like,
he's just on there lying. Yeah, just unbelievable how these tight ends do it. I kind of have the same feeling about Kelsey. We was doing the same thing. Like, I think these guys are just playing dumb for fun. So, Tyler, this is fun, though, because, we don't want to just get on here and agree. So this is our second one that we're going to be opposite on. The first one that we're going head-to-head on is I took the football team and you took the Bills. The second one, you took the Buccaneers and I took the Rams. This is just a great fun. Let's see if we're going to agree on this one. The Seattle Seahawks are -1. They head to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Vikings catching one at home. Seahawks coming off that terrible loss. How disheartening is that for the Seahawks? How do they respond? How do they bounce back? And actually, which loss was more disheartening, Tyler? Vikings is pretty hard too.
Talk about the Vikings being 0-2 when they could be 2-0.
Yep, we talked about it yesterday.
The week 1 debacle, and then they missed the field goal in week 2. So it's like this team could very easily be 2-0.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, it's looking like the way you beat Seattle is to run the ball, and Derrick Henry manhandled them in the second half. Mm-hmm. Well, now you're getting probably the second best back in the league right behind him coming in Dalvin Cook. And you're getting them at an underdog price at home. Give me the Vikings here. I think they win this game.
Yeah, so far I'm off this game. I think it's a tough game to call. My original lean was Seattle, but then you know what I did? I said, dude, you pick Seattle every week. Of course your lean is Seattle. Like, I going through, and I haven't done this, I should actually go team by team. I'll bet you Seattle is one of my leagues. As an NFL handicapper. So I'm fine staying away from this game, and I'm glad that you have the strong take. And there's one other thing that needs to be mentioned. This will be the Vikings' first home game. So yeah, they've looked bad. Yeah, they're 0-2, but I gave out Cousins' numbers yesterday. They weren't that bad.
Have
It's
they
like
looked bad though? Like they've lost some games, but like I don't think they've looked bad.
I
Like
think they should have done
the
better against the
the
Bengals.
first
The
half
first half of the
against the
first game was
Bengals looked
terrible.
bad. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, but okay, trending in the right direction, right? All right. So, you like the Vikings there? I guess I can kind of get with you there. Hey, we talked about totals. Second highest total on the board here, with the Rams being the highest. This is 55. Any reason to play this under? Is this too low?
I mean, my only worry there is Minnesota gets into 2 or 3 of them drives where it's just run the ball 13 times, and it's
Mm-hmm.
a 7 to 8 minute drive before they punch in that touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not actually as worried about that. I mean, it just seems like both teams are going to move up and down the field. I like the over there. So you like the under?
I wouldn't play the total.
Okay.
That'd be my worry there playing the over is that they chew off a bunch of clock with some run heavy drives. Because if Minnesota gets up, say 21-7, they're going to go run heavy.
Yeah.
And that's where the clock starts to just get chewed. So it's my only worry there.
Yeah. Vikings, absolutely terrible pass rush so far. They rank. I looked at. I should when I'm doing this. I should I should write down these numbers better. They're like 29th in pass rush win rate and only 25%. So expect Russell Wilson to have time. I don't expect him to fall behind, which is why I like the over the best of any of the looks out of this game. Then let's go to Sunday night. I love this matchup. I love this bet, Tyler. I already know what side I'm on. I just want to wait to talk to you. Do you think to see if any money's going to go against me and if I can get a better number? The San Francisco 49ers will be at home for Sunday Night Football, in which they will take on Aaron Rodgers, coming back to where he's from, Northern California, the team that passed over him in 2005. Can you imagine if he got drafted here? Probably 4 Super Bowls, not being under that idiot McCarthy. But that's neither here nor there because he is in Green Bay and they are playing. They're catching 3.5 points on a total of 49.5. Tyler, how do you beat the Packers? You run the ball. What do the 49ers do best? They run the ball. They're like 29th in the league in passing yards so far. They're ahead of the Jaguars. Right? I mean, it's just like they haven't been passing at all. They just keep running. They signed like the XFL MVP today. I picked them up in all my fantasy leagues. If you guys are in my league, don't go grab them off waivers if you have a better waiver than me. What do you think of this game? I'm all in on the 49ers. I just wondered if the Packers will take money and I can get to 3 later this week.
I mean, I could definitely see the 49ers winning this game, but their secondary's banged up now. That's my worry. Is Rodgers has
you only need to stop one guy.
Do you though? I mean, Lazard has showed he can catch the ball. Tanyan showed he can catch it. Jones can catch it out of the backfield.
Scantling cannot.
It'll catch you 1 out of like maybe 4. But that one's going to be a touchdown. And they still have their rookie Amari Rodgers who hasn't gotten much run, and Randall Cobb too. So.
Yeah, Randall Cobb finally got a target after 7 quarters of football. Through 6 quarters, he's making $8 million a year. Hadn't got the ball. Hadn't even had 1 target there. So you're on the opposite side here. I love it. Go ahead. Keep telling us why you like the Packers plus the points.
I mean, that would just be my play because, I mean, that 49ers running back room is just depleted as all hell.
It doesn't matter.
It does to a point when you're bringing in guys that played in the XFL.
It doesn't. I think anyone can run through those holes, right? I mean, Twatty's never seen you and Bryce Harper in the same room. We might see Tyler in the backfield for the 49ers next week if they keep suffering all these injuries. Yeah, I just believe in Shanahan. I believe in the scheme, and I believe in the defense as well.
This is probably one I got to wait and see where the money goes in this game before I bet it.
Where do you think it's going to go? So I'm already in. I'm on the Niners no matter what. I have no problem with it moving to 4, which is why I waited, right? Obviously 4 is somewhat of a key number now with the extra points being changed and the more proclivity to go for 2. But I'm still fine laying 4. I'm like, is there a chance that, the Packers looked great last night? Is there a chance that we get 3?
I could definitely see people lining up to bet the Packers where this number comes in your favor. And you get like a 3, maybe even a 2.5 late in the week.
All right. Well, I'm waiting then because I'm on the Niners no matter what. And the only way I'll be pissed is if it went all the way to 4.5 because 4 is key in the new NFL, and I'd be really mad if I left this 3.5 on the table. This is one of my favorite plays of the week. Call me a hometown guy, call me a homer. My favorite plays are the Niners and the Raiders this week. We will wait. We'll do Monday Night Football next Monday with Titletown. So Tyler, we do this on the NBA rundown. We're doing it here. I just kind of hinted at mine. I'll give them out officially when you're done. But give me your best bets for week 3.
Best bets, I mean, of course I'm going to take that Tampa Bay one because we're against each other, and I think they win that game.
All right.
I love Minnesota to win on the money line this week.
Okay.
Maybe do a Browns-Bills teasers. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
And then just give me the Bengals outright to win that game, plus 160.
Yeah. I mean, my only worry is even that depleted defense and going against that O-line, if Burrow goes out in the second quarter, we're done. And originally, I kind of circled this as the first potential week for Burrow to potentially be hitting the sideline with the way that you guys just control the line of scrimmage. But with all those players out, especially T.J. Watt, who is an argument for the second best defensive football player, because Aaron Donald is definitely the best football player, but I think TJ has the argument, or could be put up there as the second best defensive football player in the NFL. But I understand where you're going there. My 2 best bets, I'm going to take the Niners and the Raiders. Okay, call me a homer, but I just love the matchup, and the Packers can't stop the run. The Niners love to run the ball, and I just think this Miami team is worse off than people think. I'm not happy about the line, and I'm really not just big on Jacoby Brissett. I do expect Derek Carr to play, so those are my best bets. So for the rest of the week, we will be back. Of course, Joey Work, you need to be subscribed to the channel. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You need to be subscribed so you can catch it when Joey Work, guy follows up his heater by going viral on Twitter. So great job to Joey Work. And then you need to be subscribed so when the keg goes live on Thursday night, you can get all the in-game betting winners. And the show has been so profitable to start the season. And don't get me started on the t-ball and the baseball, that I'm missing that. And then you need to be subscribed because Tyler and I will be back on Friday. And Tyler gave out a ton of prop bets. We'll have to go through and give the exact record, but I know you're profitable, because I have more money in my account than when it started on Sunday. So you need to be here to see the young prodigies picks on Friday for all the props. And also, that's our chance to change things around, right? Let's say Tua gets cleared, right?
Yeah, we get some injury news.
Yeah, we might take Las Vegas off the board, right? Tyler catches a video of Ben Roethlisberger throwing 80 yards. We can change these picks, let you know where we're at. But this is where we're at right now. This is what we're betting right now. And this is what we're laying off of right now to try and get a better number. So, Tyler, thanks again for joining me. I can't wait to see all the great work that you're going to do on Thursday night, and I'm looking forward to us revisiting all these games on Friday, and you just giving out all those winners in the props, giving me carpal tunnel trying to type them all into the chat. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. Remember, if you're not already a member, head on over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member, get access to all the picks, the Discord, and the live shows that are behind the paywall. Make sure you do that. Please like, subscribe to the video. Jay will be here on Thursday night for Thursday Night Football. Tyler and I will be back on Friday. Run Pure.